Hello, I'm Savannah Zambrano, an ArtsWestchester teaching artist. Welcome to today's ArtsWestchester Virtual Arts Workshop. Today we're going to be making character cutouts. She moves, but the ones we'll be making won't move. They'll still be really cool. You're going to need some tape, drawing utensils, so I have a pencil, a marker, and a pen. So any of these will work. Some scissors and something to color with. So I will be using colored pencils, but if you have markers or crayons, that works too. All right. Finally, you're gonna need some paper, right? So I like using copy paper, but if you have something thicker, that works too. I also like using bristle paper or cardstock, whatever you have at home, but computer paper works fine. Also, we've been inside for so long, I thought it would be fun to pack up all my supplies and go to the park. So if you're going to be going outside as well, grab a mask. If not, stay home, be comfortable, and let's make these character cutouts.
I found an empty table by the river to set up. It's a little bit windy, but you'll still be able to follow along. The benefit of workshops on video is that you can pause at any moment to catch up. I got my supplies, and let's get started. I'm keeping this character shape very simple. Think of a gingerbread man. Once I have the outline, I go in and start adding details. Please feel free to use your imagination when designing your own characters. They don't even need to be human-shaped. I've made characters out of basic shapes: a triangle, an oval, a rectangle. The point is to not focus too much on how perfect something looks, but to work with the shapes that you create on your own. So I'm using pencil because we're going to be going over this with a marker or a pen. This is the foundation or the base of our drawing. I've been drawing for many years, so I can get a nice clean sketch right off the bat. Some of you might struggle a little bit with getting the exact shapes you want, but that's okay. Keep trying and don't let yourself get too frustrated. Practice makes better. When designing the clothes and hair for your character, it's almost like telling a story without too many words. Where is she going to be? What is she going to be doing? For this one, I have her hair up. She has long sleeves and jeans and some comfortable shoes. So what kind of story does that tell? Maybe she's an explorer. Maybe she's on a hike and it's fall time. Or maybe she just likes to be covered up. I don't know her whole story, but for now, that's what I'm going with. She wants to be comfortable and go out on an adventure. Once I'm done with my sketch, I like to go over the lines with a pen or a marker. You can use the same color pen for the whole thing, or you can use different colors. Here, I'm using a thick marker, which makes it easier for coloring and cutting out. If you don't have a pen or a marker, that's okay. You can use the pencil that you use to sketch. But just keep in mind you want to darken the lines that you want to keep, so that when you erase over, you're only erasing the lines that you don't want. Now it's time to color. When growing up, I didn't see myself in many comics or cartoons, so I like to make characters that look more like me. This being said, what kind of character do you want to see? They can be anything you like. any color or shape that brings you happiness. I used to have blue hair, so that's the color I'm going to pick for this character. Now let's talk about coloring. Personally, I feel there's no wrong way to color. Just do what you like. But at the same time, I know that each supply or material has its own technique. When it comes to using color pencils, I always recommend to go from light to dark. If you start too dark, you won't be able to layer the colors properly. What do I mean by layering? Well, for the cheeks, if you noticed, I colored them in red. I will be going over them in a light brown. This way, the red shows through the light brown and it looks like the character is blushing. So when you are using color pencils, let's say you only have an 8-pack. By doing this layering technique, you can achieve more variation in color with only the 8 colors. If you think about the color wheel and how you mix colors to create other colors, it's the same principle here. So another tip, when you're using crayons or color pencils, try to think about the direction that you're moving the color pencil. When I was young, my dad always told me to color in little circles, and this way you can get an overall smooth look. But as I grew older, I just developed my own techniques. So I'd like to go back and forth, back and forth. Doing this way, everything goes in the same direction. And then when I add layers, I can go in the opposite direction to give it texture or to darken it. Again, do what you feel works best for you. Scissor safety is important. I like to cut around the character first, and then I go in slowly to cut out the smaller spaces. Always be aware of where your fingers are. I will be leaving a space between her legs so that I can add some support, and then that way my cutout character will be able to stand in the different environments that I will be placing her in. Sometimes it's hard to keep a steady hand when you're cutting with scissors. That is okay. Feel free to ask for help. You can ask a sibling or a family member. I'm sure they won't mind if you ask them at the right time. Or you can make more characters and keep practicing till you get it the way you like it. Now to make a support for our cutout. At this point, you can use a popsicle stick or a chopstick or even a pen or a pencil. I'd like to use the supplies that I have on hand, and I don't want to waste that much. So by using the half of the paper and folding it over itself, I make a nice, firm enough base for my character. Now to adhere the support to the cutout. You can use masking tape or glue. I decided to go with clear tape. Make sure that the support runs the length of the cutout. If it's too short, the top part of my cutout will flap around in the wind. If it's too long, it'll stick out and it'll ruin the illusion of a character in real life. So I taped the top and the bottom to make sure that they're securely attached to each other. I left a piece at the bottom so that I can use it in different environments. And now your character cutout is complete. You can take it inside and outside and have a fun little photo shoot. If you like this arts workshop, please visit artsw.org. I'm Savannah Zambrano, an ArtsWestchester teaching artist, and I hope you enjoyed making a character cutout with me.